Next up, we've got Libertarian candidate for governor, Lex Green.
Really?
Hello, everybody. In case you missed it yesterday, happy birthday, America! Happy birthday to we the people! Unlike my opponent who came here and gave a campaign speech and left, I'm going to be here to talk to anybody who wants to talk to me over here at the blue tent after my speech. But I'm not here to campaign. I'm here because I am a Tea Party activist. I'm involved actively in the Tea Party down in McLean County. I assist the organizer down there. My wife Karen and I are very active in that group, and we try to help wherever we can throughout the state. We're also active in other freedom groups like the 912 Project, like the Campaign for Liberty, and of course my own Libertarian Party. We all believe in freedom. Now, you've gotten a lot of history today. Thank you, thank you. We've got a lot of history today, but let me give you a little bit more. Thomas Jefferson, whom we were just talking about, he wrote that we have that inalienable right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But he changed things. He didn't get it exactly the way it was supposed to be. 100 years before him, John Locke said, we have a right to life, liberty, and estate. And I will go back to my favorite founding father, a great patriot and the organizer of the Sons of Liberty, Samuel Adams. In 1774, 2 years before Thomas Jefferson wrote the Declaration of Independence, he wrote in the rights of colonists, the rights of the colonists are these. First, a right to life. Second, the right to liberty. And thirdly, the right to property, along with the manner of defending them in which we see fit. Life, liberty, and property. The three great rights, according to George Sutherland, an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court, the three great rights are essentially one right. To take a man's liberty is to take all he has to live for. To take a man's property, which is the fruit and badge of his liberty, is to still leave him a slave. Fruit and badge of his liberty. Property rights are often glossed over as we talk about our rights. Life, yes. Liberty, yes. But how often do we ignore property? And yet it is probably the most important because it's the fruit and badge of our liberty. The fruits of my labor are the badge of my liberty. So what is my property? My house? My car, my wages, the money that I earn from the sweat of my brow is the fruit of my labor, and that is the badge of my liberty. And that's why we're here today. Because when any person or entity can come and take the fruit of your labor in the form of taxes that they give to other people, including people who won't even work for it, including people who've done nothing to earn it, then they are taking the badge of my liberty and they are making me a slave. And I've been taxed enough already. I won't have any more. Here in Illinois, they want to increase our taxes. Here in Illinois, even those who talk about keeping our taxes low are not stopping the spending. As part of what I do, campaigning, I had to come up with a budget proposal for the state of Illinois. And I went through line by line, agency by agency, saying we need to reduce this, we need to reduce that. I showed it to my wife, Karen, and she said, why, anybody could go through it line by line and reduce those numbers. Anybody could do it. You know, you're right. But in Springfield, they just can't seem to do it. So we need to find a way to get rid of those people in Springfield that just can't seem to reduce those numbers. So, what do? Some people say, it may be too late. I hear this all over the state, from Cairo to Rockford. I hear it. Maybe it's too late for us. But I wouldn't be running, and you wouldn't be here if we really believe that. We can turn this around. But here's a couple things we need. First, I know all of you have been writing your congressmen and have been writing your state congressmen and senators, and keep it up. But we're at a point in the Tea Party movement, in the freedom movement, where we need to give that extra push. I used to run the mile, and the third lap was always the hardest lap. We were tired. We've been doing the same thing for 3 laps. But the race is not over. So we need you to step up your efforts and talk to your friends, talk to your family, make sure they understand what we're doing. I'll be out there pushing for it, you be out there pushing for it, and let's put the pressure on our politicians. Finally, I just want to say, there's a few things that we need from our politicians, and a few things we need to impose upon them. And I stand here telling you we need term limits. You've heard some of this before today, and I agree with them. Anybody who has said that, I'm on their side. We need term limits, and we need transparency. We need to know what's being spent, and we need to shine a light on it. And then we need to stop it. All right? And we need more of you to step up and volunteer in other activities. If you're in the Republican Party, I know I'm not one of them, but I'm sure they won't mind me telling you, you should be a precinct committeeman if you can do so. If you're in the Libertarian Party like me, stand up and run for city council, run for trustee of your library board, run for state Congress, General Assembly, excuse me. The more we do, the bigger the change is going to be, and it's coming. And it's going to come November 2nd this year. Thank you, everybody, for coming out.